Good evening. It's 23:16. Uh, this is my response to Impunga Yesintu, who has made a number of videos recently in attack of homosexuality. But my response to him is not going to be personal because I don't know him. I don't know his friends that he stays with when he's talking about these debates. But I want to attack him directly using the weapon that I have in my hands because I don't have any other weapon as a South African other than our Republican Constitution. So this is how I'm going to attack Impunga Isinto. This is how I'm attacking him for allowing homosexual views in his channel. When I started following Impunga Isinto, it was a long time ago. I was in Pretoria, in the capital city. Of course, in the capital city, you have different problems compared to when you are in a city, a metropolitan city, any other metropolitan city, because the capital city is the administrative uh, capital of South Africa. So it's an official place. And he spoke something that was very important to me at that time about respect. He said that respect is the most important thing in Zulu culture and in African culture, and I listened to that. And it was nothing new to me when someone says respect is important. But it is something new to me when someone has or allows people who have homosexual views to be on his channel and attack homosexuals consistently. I don't know what kind of competition is there out there because the Pope has already been chosen. If the Pope has not been chosen, I would have said maybe there is a homosexual who wants to be a Pope or something like that. But now that has passed, so I don't understand where Mpunga Isinto is coming from with this verbal attack on homosexuality as a natural creation, really. But I'm coming to that. We know that in South Africa we had apartheid for a very long time, from 1948 to 1994. But of course, in 1993, there was an interim constitution which was signed, and then we had the elections in 1994, and then we had a new constitution in 1996, which is the Republican Constitution that we use in South Africa. That is the supreme law of the land, and it is the yardstick with which we judge everything or we measure everything said or done under the sun and on the soil and on the seas of South Africa. If you just read the preamble, I'm not going to go deep in terms of the human rights that are potentially endangered by this kind of talk by Mpunga Yesintu and his company. I'm just going to stick to the preamble, which is something simple that we can all understand easily. The preamble says we must acknowledge the injustices of the past. Now, in the past, we know that homosexuals were not allowed. There were laws which were called sodomy laws in South Africa, which prevented a male from sleeping with another male, which was an injustice for other people who were naturally born that way because it prevented them from doing what they wanted to do, expressing their love. And in the military, I heard some stories which I don't know, I've not verified. I don't know whether they are true or false. That if you were found out to be homosexual, you were chemically castrated or you were dismissed from the military. Even in the US, that's why they came up with what was called the don't ask, don't tell policy. So to say that if you're homosexual, no one is going to ask you and don't tell anyone. So meaning that you must do your things privately in a private manner. So meaning that whatever you do must not be discussed in the barracks. The preamble goes on to say we must honor those who fought for our freedom, of the freedom of our land. Perhaps some of those people who fought for our freedom were homosexuals. We don't know their sexual history. We have so many heroes that we celebrate every year because they brought us freedom. Maybe some of them were homosexuals. We don't know. So by having this renewed attack on homosexuality, we might actually be spitting on the grave of the martyrs of South Africa, who never revealed their sexuality because they were working a political mission which required them to sacrifice their lives in order for us to be free today, to be able to speak in this kind of way. And then now to improvise into, I want to, that is my pen dropping. I want to understand if he has thought about this carefully, that if God didn't want homosexuals, why would he create homosexuals? And is there a link between being a Homo sapien and being homosexual and all of that? Where does it come? And how do we judge now God and say God has created something that is wrong when we agree initially that everything that is created by God? Umvelinqangi wavela kuqala noma umdali. So why would we have a channel to discuss homosexuality when it is something that is natural, that is there, that is created, that affects human beings just like any other condition affects human beings? The preamble also says we must respect those who have worked to create and develop our country. Some of those people are homosexuals. You'll find them in banks, you'll find them in clinics, working in hospitals, in crèches, in schools, even in SARS offices, in Home Affairs offices. We find them even in the taxi industry. You find them, in the shops, everywhere. So they are working to develop and to develop our country and actually to make our country a better place to live in. So by these discussions that we are having, are you helping those people feel more like citizens or alienating them from citizenship through speaking in a negative way about homosexuality? Obviously, looking at it from a Christian perspective and maybe from a Muslim perspective, it might be something wrong. But from an African perspective, we don't know whether it is wrong or not. You are supposed to tell us what your ancestors said about it and what they did about it. And of course, in closing the preamble, it says that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. So, meaning that it belongs to homosexuals as well, uh, just like it belongs to you, Mpunga Isintu. So we must share the space that we have. It's a big country. We don't have a lot to fight over because we have a lot of land, and we have very few people in terms of population compared to Nigeria, for example, which has the biggest population in Africa. So, or in the black world, so to speak. So it belongs to all who live in it. That is South Africa. So even homosexuals belong in South Africa when they are in South Africa, when they are living in South Africa. And we must make sure that their lives in South Africa is a good life, not a life of judgment, which Impoga Sinto seems to be subjecting them to. Thank you.